Why, hello there YouTube and welcome to a Torchwood review. I am Davros and I'm a Whovian, and today I review Torchwood Exit Wounds. So this is the finale of Series 2 of Torchwood, and in this, taking off not long after the end of Fragments, we see Jack and the team come face to face with John Hart, who is unleashing chaos in Cardiff. We see the Weevils out and about, we see hooded, robed monks, we see the Hoyks make a brief cameo after we briefly see him in Doctor Who Love and Monsters 2 years before. And we see Jack find his brother, but not the reunion he was expecting. And we see that Jack is happy to see his brother, but his brother's not happy to see him because he is forever changed and traumatized by the ordeal he went through with these creatures. And we find out that Captain John had been under Grey's control, and he gets his freedom but chooses to go back and help the team. And we see Owen stopping a power plant meltdown, but unfortunately gets trapped and then is vaporized as it floods with radiation. And of course Tosh gets wounded and is too weak to save him, and she dies. So then the episode ends where Captain John has gone back to whatever time, and Jack and Gwen and Yanto are the only three, and Jack tells them that the end is where they start from. So what did I like about this episode? Well, I liked that we got answers earlier on who Grey was in the show, but we now see that he is alive, and we see Captain John return after coming into the series premiere, which I still think is one of the best openers for a Torchwood series. And I liked him. I liked James Marsters as Captain John, just like when he played John in Spike in Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I enjoyed seeing him back in this, and he was just fun to watch. And kind of played the similar sort of character. I guess he's kind of typecast in that kind of role, but who cares? I like his performance. I also like the character of Grey, who was played by Lachlan Nieboer. Hard to pronounce, but we see him, and we always thought that Grey was the prisoner, only to the tables to turn and him to be the villain of the piece. We see, a whole thing where he buries Captain Jack in the, in what would be Cardiff 2,000 years from now, and then see that he was dug up in the early 1900s to be frozen in the morgue and set to defrost for that moment after he was taken. And we see that there's been two Captain Jacks in the hub the whole time. But and then we see Jack, finding the only way to stop his brother is to contain him and not wanting to kill him, as there's been enough death. I also thought Eve Myles as Gwen was good. We saw not much of her in the last episode, but we see her. I also like that we got the Weevils back as well. This would be the last time we'd see him in the show. But they would appear again in Doctor Who in 2010. Pandorica opens, so the Doctor must have come across them at some point. We even see the Hoyks from Love and Monsters, which I mentioned earlier. And we have an emotional performance from Naoko Mori as, is that her name? Naoko Mori, playing Tosh. Now she gives one final performance where she's meant to be wounded. And I believe in that bit when she was acting out her death, she did that in one take. From behind the scenes we see on Torchwood Declassified, we find out that she actually did all that in one take. So that is some great acting there from her. Also, we see Owen get vaporized and meet the true death this time, and he doesn't want to go back to this abyss of nothing. But him and Tosh have that heart to heart, and let their feelings out for one another when it's too late. But they both go out knowing that they loved one another, and it's a bit of an emotional end for the series. I think not long after, this sort of fell into the series 4 finale of Doctor Who. But yeah, this was a good action-packed finale. We had visuals, they had good visuals. We had practical stuff as well. We had some dark moments, we had some brutal moments, we had some fun moments. So yeah, this was, all in all, a good finale, but a bit of a downer ending. And we would get another series, and we'll get to that. But yes, Torchwood Exit Wounds. What am I going to rate this? Well, first of all, I think the performances should get a 10. The writing, an 8. The visuals, an 8 on my personal. I'll give it a 9 because it was a good finale. So there you go. There is my review for Torchwood Exit Wounds and my whole reviews for Torchwood Series 2. So yeah, I'll review the other 2 series in time. But for now, I'm going to be taking a bit of a break from Torchwood and maybe get back into some of my other content and that, like Who review and stuff. So yeah, have you seen this episode? What do you think to it? Let me know down in the comments below. If you like this video, be sure to give it a big thumbs up. Share with your friends and feel free to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already and hit that notification bell. I have been Davros the Whovian, and this has been a Torchwood review. So until next time, run for your life.